In this video, we're going to show our client, Caitlin, to self-treat with lymphatic drainage techniques. And you may not need to teach every client this technique, but I think it's a good idea because sometimes when clients do have flare-ups down the line and they have a little bit of swelling, it's a good idea for them to have the knowledge of how to self-treat with lymphatic drainage techniques. So the first thing we're going to ask our client to do is start breathing with their diaphragm. We know we have lots of lymph nodes in that particular area. And we're going to have Caitlin self-treat sitting up, but your client can lean back in a recliner. They can be laying down, but I think sitting up is a good idea because that supports, gravity can support the movement. Okay, so even a little pressure on the diaphragmatic area like Caitlin's doing while they do the diaphragmatic breathing can be helpful to get those lymph nodes stimulated. So the first place we're going to send Caitlin is in the armpit area. And it's generally recommended that they do both sides at the same time, but if that's not comfortable, then they can do one side at a time. And then you want to use you can use the fingers of both hands, get in there, and then do some just gentle light strokes or stimulating of the lymphatic nodes in that particular area. So, yep, you can just do 6 to 10 little strokes is fine. You got your 6 to 10 in? Okay, then the next is below the clavicle. So taking a couple fingers and then just stroking below the clavicle from the inside out. And you feel like you can do both at the same time or, okay, there you go. Okay, really light and gentle on the skin. So we're typically myofascial therapists, so we're really trying to connect with the skin, but you want to tension the skin lightly, but then just sort of very lightly on the skin because you're really working with the superficial fascia and not the deeper layers of the fascia. So you don't have to pull and tension enough that you're grabbing those deeper layers of the fascia too. And then the next is above the clavicle. Six to 10 strokes. And if you want to do an abbreviated version of the clavicle, you can separate the fingers and then go above and below the clavicle at the same time. Is that like patting your head and rubbing your head? So you can do one at a time, it's okay. Okay, next is the front of the neck. So starting up high and then lightly stroking down. Now I had my consultant, lymphatic drainage, said that she often will add in a little flick at the end. And that flick at the end sort of helps to train those pathways to open up. Okay. The next would be more the side of the neck, coming down. Again, gently tensioning the skin, but barely any pressure. And then lastly on the neck is more toward behind the ear and down. But next we're going under the chin or under the mandible, back to the neck. And we're going under the lip and back to the ear. Okay, top of the lip and back to the ear. Okay, then lower nose under the cheekbone. And the next one, being very careful of the soft tissues of the eye, but upper nose right over and slightly above the cheekbone. Outer eyes to the temple. Above eyebrows to the temple. And finally, upper forehead. And if you have a giant forehead like I do, that might take 3 sections. Okay, and then the reverse. So now that we've opened up all the channels, then doing them in reverse. Do you remember what they are?
Mostly.
Okay. And giving your client a cheat sheet and letting them know too, if they don't have the right amount of time, then, or a lot of time, they can do these areas in fewer. So you could do the whole forehead together if you wanted to. Okay, and then the upper nose. You could do the whole nose together, for example. And then above the lip. And below the lip, you could do the mandible and below the lip together, using your fingers this way. And of course, our logic would tell us and then the neck, you could do the back, side, front, or you could try to do them sort of together. Logic would tell us the more swelling they have, the more you would want to break that up into smaller sections. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if they just generally are trying to do prevention, then bigger sections would be perfectly fine. Okay. You look beautiful. Okay, and then lastly, the armpits. Okay, all right. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.